Hello, family, friends, and fans. I'm Fletch Rhoden. This is Fletch Anything. Today on Fletch Anything, The Rule of Threes, a comedy classic. Well, you may or may not know what that is. You may think you know and be wrong, or you may have no idea what this is or who I am. I'm Fletch Rhoden. It's Fletch Anything. It's a question and answer type show. We can pop any questions, comments, in the comments section of my YouTube channel or Facebook page, and I'll get back to you then. I'll talk about anything I want to talk about. One of the reasons I call it Fletch Anything. And others that I'm Fletch. Fletch Rhoden, if you don't know me, I'm a writer mostly. I got a ton of books available under my own name and others, the fiction and nonfiction available in paperback and for Kindle and an audiobook format. If you've got Audible, check me out there. I'm also a recording artist with lots of music you can download all over the internet, and I'm a musical comedian with a new album out called The Sexiest Guy in the World Goes Electric. It's available on CD and for download. It's a 30-song download and a 15-song CD. You can go to my website, FletcherRhoden.com. There's a link below. I suggest that you subscribe to this YouTube channel because this is where you'll find videos, live performance videos of songs from the new record that'll be shot at my CD release party and concert here on August 9th of 2023, 9 p.m. at the Saddle and Spurs Saloon here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So this is where you're going to find those videos, and you want to check them out. It's going to be a very fun night. If you're in town, I suggest you come check it out. CDs are available, $10 a shot, and I'm signing them. Also, you can get Fletch Me Anything. If you subscribe to this channel, it'll make finding Fletch Me Anything easier, and that'll make getting a free book easier because I give away a free book at the end of every month. It's a different kind of a book. It's unlimited downloads throughout the entire last week of every month of a Kindle edition of one of my books, but you don't need a Kindle tablet to read it. You can just download the Kindle Reader app from Amazon. That's free. And then you can read the thing on your laptop or whatever. Now, this week is Freebie Week for the month, and the book is called Comedyology. What works, what doesn't, and why. And it's a compendium of essays using modern comedy classic films and TV shows as a way of illustrating the mechanics of comedy. It was written as a supplement to the first edition of my book, 50 Shades of Trailer Park Boys. So that's free, and you can read it and enjoy it, and I hope you do. There's a lot of information there. Interesting essays about Archie Bunker and the British sitcom called Peep Show, and a few other things. So worth your while, especially since it's free. All right. So and because I'm going back into comedy. I got a new comedy album. And I got a comedy show coming up. The Sexiest Guy in the World Sings Live. And so we're doing Comedy Week. Why not? I'm giving away a comedy book. Got comedy music, comedy performances, comedy. So let's talk today about one of the things called the Rule of Threes. So there are actually several rules of three, to be honest. The one rule of three is that generally things happen in threes. They say celebrity deaths come in threes. You ever hear that? In comedy, three is just it's a common recurring numeric factor. So you had the Three Stooges. Largely, it was the three Marx Brothers. Zeppo really didn't count. The rule of threes generally is that three is it's a pleasing numeric factor for a variety of reasons. When you get into telling a joke, they would say, for example, that the rule of three is another rule of three is that you would start with a thing, and that's number one. Then you would repeat it to create a pattern, that's number two, and then you would vary it for the punchline, that's number three. So if you ever have a joke where three guys are trying to escape from a prisoner of war camp, or something like that, those are usually kind of jokes at the expense of some nationality or another. Then it would be three guys, because one guy sets the pattern. The second one establishes that it is a pattern, because you need two for a pattern. And then the third one derivates from the pattern, and that's the punchline. That's often what you'd say is the rule of threes. Some people will mistake it for this rule. Tell them what you're going to tell them what you're telling them, and then tell them what you told them. And that is a rule, and it is a rule with three components, but that's not the rule of threes. That's an essayist sort of a code of the road. That's a rule for essays, not for jokes. So anyway, but there's also this thing, another rule of three. This is actually the rule of threes, the rule of threes. And here it is. So students, Professor Rhoden's writing class is in session. You're going to want to write this down. It is the word threes, THREES. So if I were you, I would write it on a piece of paper with the, I guess it would be here, and it would be THREES. Or I suppose the way you're looking at it would be on this side of the paper, THREES. And then write out, for the T, because it's an acronym. So the T stands for target. These are the ingredients that any joke needs in order to work. So if you're writing a joke, even if it's a fart in an elevator, or if it's a 15-minute storytelling type joke, you want to have these ingredients in your joke, okay? And it spells out the word threes, THREES. And here is what those stand for: target, hostility, realism, emotion, exaggeration, and surprise. Okay? Those are the 6 ingredients to any joke. Now, you can read about this in my book, Comedyology. But in case you don't download it, I'm just giving it to you right here, right now, for free. Comedyology is free too this week. Target, hostility, realism, emotion, exaggeration, surprise. THREES. Okay? Now, if you've got these things covered, your joke should work. Simple as that. If you don't, if your joke isn't working, take a look at it. Break it down into its components: target, hostility, realism, emotion, exaggeration, surprise. Okay, so let's go through them. Target is the first one. It's also one of the most important. Target and surprise, the first and the last, are the most important. Target is crucial because everybody laughs at something. Nobody laughs at nothing. There's a line in Billy Budd where Billy laughs and Claggart says, he says, "Why are you laughing?" And Billy Budd says, "It's good to laugh." And Claggart says, "Even the laughter of idiots aimed at nothing." And that's the thing, is people don't laugh at nothing. Only an idiot laughs at nothing, aimed at nothing. People laugh at things. And mostly people laugh at people. There's not a joke in the world that begins, "A street lamp and a garbage can are at the corner of Hollywood and Vine." You know why? Because unless the street lamp says to the garbage can, and then we're humanizing them, then we're imbuing them with human qualities, and then they might as well be people. So we don't laugh at objects. Not really. We laugh at people. We laugh at ourselves. We laugh at other people. So your target should be a human being, but it has to be the right human being. Okay? You got to pick your target well. Now, comedy. Comedy is the poor man's revenge. Always think of comedy as the poor man's revenge. That's why Chaplin succeeded so, marvelously, and the Three Stooges. And we've talked about moral relativism here in Professor Rhoden's writing class, and that is part of it. Because to be a poor man, you only have to be more moral, relatively speaking, than the people around you. You can be a bum and a beggar and a thief, but that's if you have moral relativism, you're still a more appealing character than the corrupt politicians or more powerful men or women. So if it's comedy you're after, and if it's a joke, then it is comedy. Your target should be someone who's rich or haughty or arrogant, someone who's entitled, not a poor person, not a cripple, not an old lady, not an animal. You want to choose your target well. And comedy is the revenge of the poor man. So who's your target? The rich man. That's why so many Three Stooges comedies have the wealthy dowager taking a pie in the face. That's that's why the cop is always the buffoon in an old comedy, because comedy is the poor man's revenge. So target, pick the right target, somebody that we want to laugh at, and it will be a somebody, not a something. Nobody laughs at an object. All right, good. Target. Next one, hostility. Okay, we have to have some hostility toward the target. If we're not hostile toward the target, then it's not the right target. So once you've picked your target, if it's the right target, we will have some inherent hostility toward the arrogant, toward the haughty, toward the wealthy, toward the those who feel that they are superior, toward those who feel that they are entitled, toward those who are aggressive against us. So target hostility. All right. Realism is next. There has to be some realism. If a joke isn't realistic, if it isn't born of a truthfulness, then people are just going to stop and say, wait a minute, I don't get it. That doesn't make sense to me. That just doesn't happen. Like, for example, one time someone tried to sell me a joke about, it was a very off-color joke about cleaning the front window of what would be a strip bar, a strip show establishment of some kind. Because in Amsterdam, you can go and look, and the women are standing in the windows of these brothels. And someone tried to sell me this joke about the guy who's got to wipe down the windows because of all the ejaculate. But that doesn't happen in Amsterdam. No one stands on the street jerking off to the whores in the windows, and they don't even do that here in the United States at all. They just don't have strippers standing in the windows here. So the joke had no realism. It just wasn't realistic. And instead of laughing at the joke, it just stopped dead cold. Because I just was like, wait a minute, hold on. I can't think about your joke because I'm trying to think about what you're saying and it doesn't compute. So not only must you choose the right target, and that joke, by the way, what were we laughing at? The poor guy who's got to wipe down the windows? He's a poor working slob. He's not the kind of person we laugh at. He's the kind of person we laugh with. And we'd have no hostility toward him. And then realistically, it's just grounded in a concept that is not grounded in realism. It's predicated on an unrealistic concept. So that joke wouldn't work. Target, hostility, realism, emotion. We got to have some emotion. Some emotion should be involved in the story somewhere. If it's a joke that's got a story, then one of the characters should have emotion. An old Jewish guy gets hit by a bus. Someone runs up to him, puts his jacket under the old man's head. He says, "Are you comfortable, sir?" And the guy says, "I earn a living." Okay, very old joke. Didn't mean to be anti-Semitic, but we laugh at people. And culturally, the guy might have mistaken the question of his physical comfort for the adequacy of his livelihood. So it's an old joke. I didn't write it. Don't get up all on my grill about it. It's just an example of there's emotion, because the guy who sees the old man get hit by a car rushes to him and he puts his jacket under the man's head and he says, "Sir, are you comfortable?" So there's urgency, there's emotion, there's fear, there's empathy. And that's part of the joke. Okay? Emotion. Exaggeration. Target, hostility, realism, emotion, exaggeration. There must be some exaggeration. We expect exaggeration in a joke. Let's see. A horse and a dog walk into a bar. And they see a rabbit sitting at the bar. Rabbit says, "Nice day." Horse turns to the dog and says, Look at this, a talking rabbit. Okay, not a great joke or anything, but there is exaggeration in it. Because first of all, animals don't talk. Now, we're only laughing because they are acting like human beings. And there is some emotion. The horse says to the dog, look at this, a talking rabbit. So there is some emotion and exaggeration. Again, it's not like it's the stellar joke of all time, but we are laughing at what? Our expectations. We expect one outcome and we get another. So the target is really ourselves and our expectations. Do we have hostility toward ourselves? Generally, yeah. People tend to laugh at themselves. Is it realistic that we should do this? Yes. Is there some emotion? Yes. Minimal, but it's there. Is there some exaggeration? Yes. Animals don't talk. There's more exaggeration than emotion. Then the last one, surprise. Okay, so this is the most important quality of any joke. If target is like 5% of the joke, then surprise is 94%, and the other things are all just 1%. So you got to have the right target, and you got to have surprise. If they know this, if they know the punchline, or if they get to it before you do, if you are projecting the punchline such that they got it before you got there, you failed. Then your joke fails. There must be surprise. You must take them off their guard somehow. Why did the monkey fall out of the tree? Because it was dead. It's not a great joke, but it does have some element of surprise in it. It's short, it's blunt, and it probably upends your expectations. Because you might be expecting the monkey to do something human, or some sexual thing, or feces. Instead, you're surprised by what you hear. Maybe not that surprised, maybe you even know the joke. It's not that great. Again, these are not great jokes, but they do illustrate the elements of a joke. Why did the monkey fall out of the tree? Because it was dead. So, target. Are we laughing at a dead animal? No. We're laughing at ourselves. We're laughing because our expectations are, because because it was throwing its feces. So we're laughing at ourselves here with this kind of a joke. Do we have hostility toward ourselves? A little bit. We probably should. A little bit, yo. A little bit, yo. A man laughs at himself from time to time. A man, as you can call a man, according to Billy Budd. Is it realistic? Yes, we all have expectations that are wrong. And if we can laugh at that, then that'll help us to deal with disappointment. Is there emotion? Some. We don't really care about a dead monkey, but the monkey probably cared. Is there exaggeration to it? Well, death is an extreme state. So, some. True, all things do die, but that's about as exaggerated an act as you can undertake, realistically speaking. It's going to be the last thing you ever do. Surprise, yeah, because the punchline comes to you quickly, and it overturns your expectations. Again, it's not the best joke in the world or anything like that, but it does have a target: hostility, realism, emotion, exaggeration, surprise. Any good joke should have these things. And if your jokes aren't working, consider your target. Are you laughing at the right things, at the right people? Are these people toward whom your audience will have hostility? Is it realistic? Is there some emotion in the telling? Is there some exaggeration? Is there crucially adequate surprise? Is it taking too long? Are they beating you to the punch? If they are, then your joke's going to fail. So, target, hostility, realism, emotion, exaggeration, surprise. THREES. These are the three crucial ingredients to any joke, and it is one of the many rules of three. This one is actually called the rule of threes. THREES. So write it down, live it, love it, learn it. That's something for you to know and to pass around. You can read about it and more in my book Comedyology. It's free all this week. There's a link below. You don't even need a Kindle tablet to read it. You can download the Kindle Reader app from Amazon. That's free. Really, thanks for watching this video. I hope you've gotten some value out of it. Hope you watched it till the end. If you did, like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 200 subbies. I'm going from 191 to 192 to 191 to 192. I don't know who this person is who keeps who keeps subscribing and unsubscribing, but come on, make up your mind. Anyway, so subscribe and enjoy and check out my new album, The Sexiest Guy in the World Goes Electric. You can download this from wherever you like to download your favorite music, or you can buy the CD through my website, FletcherRhoden.com. There's a link below. Okay, tune in again. I'm here Monday through Friday. I go on for about 30 minutes or so. I leave them up for about 2 weeks, depending on the timeliness of the material. So you've always got time to look back at some reruns and enjoy them while you can. Okay, Fletcher Rhoden signing off for Fletch Me Anything. Hoping that until next time you are happy and stay healthy. Bye, Mary.